guys, I'm running into a big problem here putting these bolts back in to hold the caliper on. These bolts threaded pretty well into the caliper, but it's getting really tight. I had to put a good bit of torque on these just to turn them a couple more turns, and it's nowhere near seated yet. As you can see, it's still about a 1/4 inch out. I'm not sure what's going on with that, but I found this old bolt that is the same thread pattern, and so as you can see, it goes in here nice and easy, but whenever you get this bolt all the way in and down to the last couple threads, it just gets real tight. And I was trying just to torque these on down on the car, but it's getting so tight that I'm worried that I may either break the bolt or might be stripping the threads. So I'm gonna have to take these back out to see what's going on. On the old caliper, it just goes right on through. All right, guys, that was a pain. So I got the bolts out of the calipers. I got the calipers off the car, and it had stripped several threads in this, and I don't understand why, because whenever I put this on, I put these on as I normally would, or anybody should, with finger tight. I got several threads in. I even had several rotations with the wrench before it started getting tight. Then, like I said, it got very tight, and I did a couple more rotations, which I should have known better. I probably should have just stopped whenever I realized that it was getting that tight. Honestly, at first I wasn't even looking how close the bolt was being to seated, but after a couple turns of it getting really tight and then looking to see that the bolt wasn't nearly seated, I realized there was an issue, so I stopped last night. So I had to go get a tap and die set today and just clean up all these threads, but now that's taken care of, we can go ahead and put the brakes on the car. Alright guys, just got one side done, just checking it out, seeing how it feels. There's a few things that just seemed a little odd on this job, so I wanted to make sure that this side's working properly before I tear into the other side. Well, I made it down the driveway, which is really steep, and I had to pump the brakes a couple times. When I first pulled out of the garage, it felt kind of soft, but it braked fine just coming down the driveway. So just going down the road here to check things out now. And ooh, that felt soft. Like I said in the video the other day, when I did the front, the brake pedal got softer. I think I said that. But yeah, whenever I did the front brakes, because there was more volume, you're moving more fluid through the calipers, the brake pedal was definitely softer than it had been previously, but the stopping power was much better, especially from higher speeds. So I was comfortable with that. I adjusted to that. I kind of expected the same this time, since you are moving more pistons, which means you'll be moving more volume, take a little more pedal travel to get everything slowed down and engaged. The pedal is definitely softer now, which I don't like, but the brakes work really good, and this is why you never want to change just one side. Watch when I hit the brake hard. It really pulls the car hard to the left. So yeah, definitely have a lot more stopping power now, but definitely need to get the other rotor on. So I'm going to take that back to the house and start on that now. guys, I got this side buttoned up here pretty much. I just got to put the wheel back on, but one thing I did want to point out is when I was putting the bolts into this caliper, the threads started getting tight like they did on the other side. So I was a little bit thrown off by that, but I pulled the bolts back out, and really what I saw was the bolts were really pretty clean overall, very clean for the most part, what you would expect on a 10-year-old vehicle. But there was just a bit of dirt and corrosion on the threads, which was gumming up in the aluminum housing. So I pulled those off and I ran the die set down the threads on that, and then put a little bit of anti-seize on there, and everything went together so much more smoothly. So anyway, that's gonna wrap it up on this side. Like I said, I'm gonna throw the tire on the car real quick, and then I'm gonna go take a test drive. All right, guys, I went for another test drive yesterday evening. The brake pedal was still very soft. Actually, it would go all the way pretty much down to the floor whenever I went to hit the brakes if I haven't been on them for a minute or two. So I'd have to pump the brakes to get a little pressure in the line, which indicates that there's a little air in the system. So I'm gonna do another round of bleeding these brakes right now, and then we'll go for another drive and see how it does then. All right, guys, I don't know why, but it took a ton of pumping on the vacuum pump to try to get these brakes bled, but I think I finally got it done. So now let's go for a ride. Several different braking tests here. The brake pads obviously got to get seated in, but yeah, overall the pedal travel is a little more, like I've said previously, but it seems to be working pretty well now, and the brakes do really feel good under kind of my normal driving conditions, and under hard braking there's definitely a lot more stopping power. I am feeling a couple little oddities. One hard brake, I got another pull to the left, and I'm not sure if that's just that the maybe the one brake has been on there a little bit longer, is a little more seated in, or maybe if it is actually just the car following the road a little more than what I initially thought on that last hard brake test, because I did it in the same spot and I got the exact same reaction pretty much. But anyway, yeah, I think things are feeling really good now overall. I still wouldn't mind maybe doing some braided steel brake lines or something like that, just to get the pedal a little more firm. But overall, definitely pretty pleased with this. So now I am going to run to the store and run some errands to get some more things for other projects. But anyway, guys, you know what to do. Be sure to hit that like button. Be sure to hit subscribe. And until next time, stay tuned.